Pronunciation floxinosinihilipilifelication, which stands for the action of estimating something as worthless. That is how one of my students, Bernadine, has recently elucidated her habits of ignoring the correct articulation of some specific words. For instance, as we may know, conduct should not permanently be pronounced with the stress on the first syllable, like conduct. In the sentences, "May I conduct you to your table, sir?" the above-mentioned word has a second syllable stress. Thus, we should keep that in mind. And today, I've special guests here, two pronunciation experts, Mrs. A as well as Mr. V. Ladies and gentlemen, please warm welcome. This is Mr. V speaking, and it's my honor to be brought here today as an expert, and beyond any dispute, I will shed some light on some misunderstanding when it comes to pronunciation. Here he goes again. The first question would be, how should we pronounce this word? What's so fuss about? Minute is a noun, and we should pronounce this word with a sound, like in sit. Minute. Minute. Please use it correctly, pronounce it correctly as well in the following collocations. By the minute, it means extremely quickly. The matters go worse by the minute. Or, for instance, not for a minute. It means not at all. He fooled me around, not for a minute. It's a common knowledge that minute is an adjective. We do say minute, which implies that we have a second syllable stress, minute. And we might say a minute amount of something, a minute quantity of something, or, for example, in minute detail. We have a minute chance of winning this game. It stands for extremely small. As far as I'm concerned, we have a heated debate here. What about this one? Well, what do we have here? Deliberate, deliberate. Pronouncing correctly, deliberate. Can you say that? Great. So it means to engage in a long and careful consideration. Usually we use the following word after deliberate: over. For instance, he deliberated over the menu, or jurors deliberated over the fate of those who were charged. What can I say? Deliberate is an adjective. Deliberate, deliberate. It means done consciously or intentionally, and usually often about something bad. A deliberate attack, a deliberate insult, a deliberate lie. She made a deliberate decision to leave a part. Fantastic, but we still have questions about this one. What is the correct pronunciation of the following word? Can we separate the truth from a lie? My dearest, as would be said by Jane Austen, you don't have a compassion on my poor nerves. Separate, as we may know, is a verb, separate. We have 8 engine here. We might use this great verb in the following collocations. Separate the wheat from the chaff, or separate the sheep from the goats. It means to divide people or other object into superior as well as inferior groups. Oh, now you have done it. Everybody knows separate is an adjective. We do say separate, separate. And we have a beautiful collocation, go separate ways, which means that people decide to end a romantic or professional relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, may I assume that if we have ATA ending, and if we do mean a verb, for instance, desolate, am I correct that we're supposed to pronounce all the time 8? Desolate. For instance, she desolated me. You've made it. Close or close? Whew, what a close, hazy day. What a close, hazy day. You might have just noticed that I did say close, hazy day, which means that close is an adjective which should be used with the s sound. And I love this idea because we can describe the weather outside as close weather. It means uncomfortably humid. Or another idea is hidden in the following collocation: at close quarters, which implies very uncomfortably close to something. For example, he witnessed the war atrocities at close quarters. Please keep in mind, close can be used with another preposition, in close quarters. Polish or Polish. It's no secret that Polish is a verb. We have a sound like in father, and it means to make a surface shine. Always, I love the following collocation: polish something off. It means to quickly finish or consume something. For example, they polished off the most of the sausages. Take it with a pinch of salt. We do say Polish when we mean from Poland. O sound here. Would you be so kind as to give the correct pronunciation? I love this word. I would say very timely. Dessert. Dessert. Can you say that? Dessert. Bodacious. Dessert stands for to abandon a place, organization, or a person. For instance, since Mrs. V as well as Mr. V have had irreconcilable differences, they have deserted each other. Desert. Please keep in mind it's a verb. Desert as a noun, we're supposed to say desert. Desert. Can you say that? Desert. And it means a flock of lapwings. For example, a desert of lapwings rises from a ploughed field. Or another collocation is cultural desert. We might describe anything that is poor in its quantity as cultural desert. For example, this town is definitely a cultural desert. Is it a verb or noun or adjective? And how should we pronounce this word? Tear is a verb, beyond any doubt. Tear. For instance, I tear this piece of paper. And also, I would like you, my dearest friend, to keep in mind the following collocation: tear and wear. We usually say take, tear, and wear. For instance, this TV set has taken, tear, and wear, and which implies the damage that happens to an object during a period of time. My tear near ear trickled down my cheek. Mrs. A as well as Mr. V, let me express my sincerest gratitude towards your explanations. It has been my pleasure to have been talking to you for about 10 minutes about this great topic: beautiful adjective or beautiful noun. Mr. V is always at your disposal. Please keep in mind the following verbs that I have just introduced to you. So, farewell! Hopefully, our viewers have found this video fruitful as well as useful for them. Also, I really want to believe that nowadays they do not have any more pronunciation flocks in nosini hilipilification. Thus, let's call it a day. Have a brilliant day and